I would think that for most of us, I know when I was a child, I always thought this was about taxes. And I think probably there's a lot of people who still think that today. But taxes are a prop in the story to teach the lesson that is beneath it. It's set up in the first sentence of the gospel. The Pharisees went off and plotted how they might entrap Jesus in speech. It's about a lie. It's about dishonesty. It's about deceiving and deception, and it's about all those things that fit into that category in our lives too. Half-truth, quarter-truth, white lie, spin. We give it a better name now. We call it spin. How silly. Just drop the P out of it and you've got what it is. Sin. Jesus. You can't use this passage. You can't write on your 1040. IRS, please see Matthew 22:15 to 21. You'll do 15 to 21. Jesus was always, and St. Paul was the same in his letters, about our obligations to pay taxes, about our obligations to support those services that we get in a wider level and that we don't have to take on ourselves. He was always supportive. St. Paul said we always have to pray for the king. He didn't say, if you like the king, pray for the king. He said, pray for the king. Now, given the fact that as Catholics we're obligated to those kinds of civic duties, such as paying a tax, we are free to argue forever about how much and about where it goes. So see, there, have at it. We all do. That part's okay. Nowhere does God ever indicate how much taxes we should pay or where it should be put once we pay it. But the paying of it is not optional in the kingdom of God. It's consistent Catholic teaching since the Scriptures. What is the story about? It's about the truth. It's about these people, disciples of the Pharisees, and some Herodians. They want to get rid of Jesus. Jesus rocks their boat. Jesus gets in their face. They have God in a box, and he says, no, you don't. He says, this is what my Father teaches. They don't like that. They have God in a box. They know everything. They have no need of anything else. And listen to their speech. They call him teacher. Already they're lying. They have no more interest in doing what he says. They call him teacher. And then they say, we know that you are a truthful man. Well, there's one thing the liars could say. He's not like them. He does speak truth. They are the liars and deceivers. And that you teach the way of God. Boy, did they dig this hole deep. And that you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. Huh. They wouldn't have known what the truth was if it was painted on the inside of their eyelids. And you're not concerned with anyone's opinion. Yeah, you got that right too. It just gives us, I think, an opportunity to step aside a little bit as disciples of Jesus. Jesus is the truth with a capital T, truth. So anything that doesn't measure up to that in my life is something that I, as a disciple, have to change if I'm going to be the disciple Jesus calls me to be. We have a lot of fun with this. Maybe not fun's not the right word. We take a lot of liberty in this area. One of my favorites has always been, oh, I just told little white lies. Little white lies? I've never seen a white lie, nor a black lie, nor a brown one, nor a purple one, or a pink one. A lie is a lie is a lie. The sinfulness of a lie in our Catholic theology is determined, in our moral theology, is determined by the amount of damage I do to another. How's that? Little lies, big lies are lies. No matter what name or twist you want to put on it or I want to put on it, dishonesty is dishonesty. And you know what? It goes the same with all this stuff. I detest election times, personally. Because people take, and they pay people to do this. We have in our culture today professional liars. It's great. We raise everything to professional eventually. You know, the spin doctors, they call them. Like I said, drop the P out, and you got the word. Sin doctors. What do? They take a bit of truth, twist it, carry it off to something else, or give it a definition it never had, or whatever else, and they sell it to us like it's truth, as they destroy one another. Almost makes you not want to vote for anybody that does that. I've thought about that, but then, doggone it, I lose my chance to vote. It's a lie. If I put this much truth in it and this much lie in it, it's a lie. It's deception, deceiving. It's terribly dishonorable. My culpability depends on the damage that I do to the other person, to their name, their honor, whatever. And it's sinful. Why do we do it? Well, I think probably it's what I learned as a child, you know? Fear. I could just see my 5'2" mother looking at me going, "Did you do this?" You know, and it takes about 2 seconds to calculate the amount of damage I've done of what I'm going to get for what I did. You know, Much easier to say, I think my sister did it, or my brother did it, or no. Comes awful quick. The lying that we do so often. And you know what? Sometimes it's even, we have the best of intentions. But if I'm lying, I'm lying. There is no good intention of lying. There isn't. Maybe my answer is, if it's none of somebody's business, maybe the better answer is to say, that's none of your business or my business. We could just be blunt about it, be truthful, couldn't we? Or we could just say, I don't think that's something that I want to talk about. Wow, I didn't lie. Isn't that great? Or somebody comes, you know how they do it. They'll say, you want to buy this, you want to buy that, you want this or you want that? No, thank you. Why do you have to concoct a story to tell somebody you don't want to do something that they want you to do? Or buy something you don't want to buy? Say, no, thank you. Big smile. And walk away. No lie. The truth. I think this is so damaging, what we do with our dishonesties. And you know, one of the places it really affects is you couples in your marriages. The dishonesty of not saying something that you know needs to be said. You know God's been pushing you to say something to your spouse, and to say it in love. Bishop Kevin's motto is truth in charity, or truth with charity, or something like that. It's a quote from St. Paul. Yeah, the truth in charity, in love. 90% of it's how we say it. But to speak the truth to one another as you see it, and then letting that truth work between the two of you in your relationship. You know what the hard part of lying is? The hard part of lying in our relationships is the destruction of trust that takes place when we're caught in dishonesty. Isn't it? It destroys the trust in the relationship. It's terribly hard. So it's not only the lying, but it's the destruction of relationship that happens in that dishonesty. Well, here's the good news. I just think this is a problem that most of us deal with on a daily basis. I just love it that Jesus isn't afraid to put these things in our face. We just need to look at them, honestly look at them. The good news is, He is truth with a capital T. The good news is that He wants me to grow in honesty. He wants me to grow in my ability to communicate truth, because He wants to be in me and have me in His truth. We're loved. We're beloved sons and daughters. And He's always trying to make us more and more into the people He dreams and expects us to be. So there's always mercy, and there's always grace, and always the call to change and to be more what He wants us to be. The truth. That's what He wants us to be. The truth. All the way down to those daily interactions with the people we love the most. And he's there to help us do it.